Coming up on Citrus TV News, it's spring, but the snow's still here in central New York. A winter storm warning is in effect right now. Find out how much snow Syracuse is expected to get overnight and how you can prepare.
Plus, R. Kelly is in Chicago for a court hearing. Find out what he's asking the court to change in his current permissions.
And lawmakers agree on an extension to negotiate a Brexit deal. Find out when Parliament must get a deal passed for the UK to leave the EU. Citrus TV News starts right now.
Now, Citrus TV News live at 6 starts with breaking news.
We start tonight with breaking news. Special counsel Robert Mueller has finished his 2-year-long investigation into President Trump and his campaign. Good evening. I'm Jack Watson.
And I'm Elijah Shama. Mueller submitted his report to Attorney General William Barr earlier today. No details about the report are currently public, and it is unclear if they will be released. The White House has not yet been briefed on the report. Mueller is also not recommending any further indictments.
And back here on the Hill, winter is still clinging to the area as a snowstorm moves into the region 2 days after the first day of spring, Elijah.
Yeah, that's right, Jack. The National Weather Service's winter storm warning will end tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., but there could be more seasonable temperatures on the horizon. So, Citrus TV weather anchor Riley Burg is live outside with how much snow you can expect overnight. Riley?
Hey guys, now we are going to be expecting about 6 inches of snow tonight, and like you said, that's going to last through 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Right now, it hasn't started snowing outside yet, but it will be soon. If you take a look behind me, you can just see those trees are blowing in the wind. That's because we're experiencing about 20 mph per winds right now. So even though it's 38 outside, it feels more like 17. I gotta say, for us being 2 days into spring, it sure doesn't feel like it. Now, if you're wondering if spring's gonna come into season soon, or if we're just gonna be seeing snow until July, stay tuned and I'll tell you more in my full weather forecast. Back to you.
Thanks, Riley. Stay dry out there. The Syracuse University College Democrats and Republicans held a debate for the second time in 2 years last night. One of the debate topics that they tackled was the issue of free speech on college campuses. Citrus TV reporter Jefferson Fenner breaks down some of the key moments from the debate.
The fight over freedom of speech has gripped the nation, and nowhere is that more evident than on college campuses. Here at Syracuse University, a debate between the college Democrats and Republicans took place for the second time in 2 years and discussed the issue of the First Amendment in the 21st century. At a meeting of the college Republicans, the teams prepared for their arguments ahead.
You support free speech and Newhouse and all that crap.
The debate will feature conversations testing the other side's policies, which Chairman Dominic Biamonte says the group does each meeting.
We talk about policy every week. We talk about our stances every week. We challenge our beliefs every week. This is really just putting that into action.
On the day of the debate, President Trump signed an executive order threatening to pull federal research funding from universities which don't comply with the First Amendment. Debater Rhodey Conway feels that some conservative voices on campus may be suppressed by the environment.
I have a tendency to believe that there are a lot of conservative voices on this campus that feel much less inclined to speak up.
The nonpartisan Foundation for Individual Rights and Education, better known as FIRE, put SU on their list of the 10 worst schools for free speech in 2019. Citing the school's handling of the Theta Tau incident. FIRE also released a report in February saying the university denied official recognition to a chapter of Young Americans for Freedom, in part because their conservative views and belief in the superiority of the Constitution were not inclusive. Despite these past occurrences, College Democrats President Andres Victoria believes conservative voices have a platform at SU, but added,
people obviously can exercise their First Amendment rights, but being the 21st century and being on a campus with different beliefs and groups of people, that we should respect people at all times.
From Maxwell Auditorium, Jefferson Fenner, Citrus TV News.
Thanks, Jefferson. The Maxwell School's Campbell Institute is looking to potentially sponsor these debates in the future and hopes to make these discussions a yearly event.
And new on campus, SU says Hendricks Chapel will hold a dinner discussion on the topic of spirituality, loss, and grief. Hendricks Dean Brian Conkole says he hopes the dinner will provide an opportunity for students to discuss their pain and help them move forward. The dinner will be held this Tuesday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. and is free.
Over 50 people gathered at the Genesee Grand Hotel last night to support the Central New York veteran community. The spring social event promoted the university's Veterans Affinity Group. Chancellor Kent Syverud attended the event, and organizers say events like this help build a sense of community for veterans on campus and in Syracuse. And Syracuse University is turning 149, and the birthday party will take place in a few days. The Forever Orange Week celebration starts this Sunday and will include a celebration at the Goldstein Alumni and Faculty Center. Forever Orange Week concludes with the Orange Circle Awards Thursday evening.
And new details from Syracuse tonight. They say Syracuse police tonight say a 39-year-old man died late last night in a stabbing after a car crash. Authorities say the two-vehicle crash happened on the city's south side at Midland Avenue and Furman Street. The stabbing victim was identified in a news release as Shaladik Hadid. The incident is currently under investigation by Syracuse authorities. And here you can see a man police are looking for. They say he robbed the M&T Bank on Grant Boulevard in Syracuse. Syracuse police say it happened just after 9 this morning when the suspect walked up to a teller at the bank and presented a note demanding money. The suspect is a middle-aged man with dark hair. Witnesses last saw him wearing a brown winter coat and blue jeans. It is unclear how much money the suspect took, and the investigation is still ongoing.
As high school seniors are getting ready to make their college decisions, Citrus TV reporter Sabrina Maggiore takes a look at how one nonprofit helps students get into college and succeed.
It's midterms week at Lemoyne College, and like most college students before an exam, Jeffrey Mateo is doing some last-minute studying.
I feel like you can make an argument for either point.
Jeffrey's a go-getter. He holds multiple internships, is a member of student government, and a campus resident advisor. While Jeffrey's all settled into his life at Lemoyne and busy studying in this back room, getting here wasn't always easy. He turned to On Point for help. It's a nonprofit that helps low-income and first-generation students.
The mission of On Point for College is to help our participants be successful.
It was just hard because I didn't know what a FAFSA was. My mom definitely didn't know what a FAFSA was.
On Point helped him apply to college. It's a goal he's had for a while.
It's been a goal since middle school, since as long as I can remember and understand the way that my neighborhood works.
He grew up on the west side of Syracuse, a city which, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, is one of the top 10 poorest in the country.
It's a place where a lot of people really struggle to live their everyday lives, even if it's just trying to find some money to have food on their table. You know, that's something that my mom and we've also struggled with.
With college looming, junior year is always tough, but it was especially difficult for Jeffrey. His father passed away, and Jeffrey had to take on more responsibility.
I had to become the man of the house. After my father passed away, I really couldn't just spend my money and go out with my friends.
Now he says he's working hard so he can land that first job.
We've been working with him here. I know he's working with Career Services up at Lemoyne, and he's the kind of gem that really any organization should want.
And the ultimate dream, working for this company.
I love the pictures that they take and the stories that they tell, and I feel like I can make that same impact, so it's something I've always wanted to do.
Sabrina Maggiore, Citrus TV News.
All right, Sabrina, thank you. Moving to the state capitol now. If a New York State bill becomes law, you might be a few cents richer after your next trip to the grocery store. The New York State proposal could make more beverage bottles eligible for a 5-cent return. The bill would expand the amount of acceptable bottles like sports drinks and juices. The bottle bill is currently under consideration in Albany. And a man accused of making anti-Semitic comments to a co-worker is due in New York court next week. Former Mother Earth Storehouse employee William Sullivan was fired on Monday. The co-worker, a 15-year-old girl, quit her job in light of the alleged incident. Now those comments were allegedly made on March 11th. The accusation caught the attention of Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Bias-related crimes, hate crimes,
Wrong
are not just wrong, they're not just unethical, they're not just immoral. They are illegal.
And coming up after the break, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo was in Lebanon today. Find out why he says the Lebanese people have been suffering and how he thinks the U.S. can help.
And North Korea is pulling out of their joint office with South Korea. Find out why they made this decision and why some are calling it a step back in diplomacy next.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. Today, the United States is placing new sanctions on Iran.
According to the U.S. Treasury Department, the sanctions are against Iranian technicians and companies. The U.S. is accusing them of trying to revive the country's nuclear program.
Now, the sanctions come as Secretary of State Mike Pompeo visits the Middle East.
More than 800 Lebanese people should no longer be made to suffer for the political and military ambitions of an outlaw nation and its terrorist affiliate. It will take courage for the nation of Lebanon to stand up to Hezbollah's criminality, terror, and threats.
And that was Secretary of State Pompeo in Lebanon today on his next stop of his Middle East tour.
He met with Lebanese leaders as the president announced back home that the U.S. would recognize Israeli ownership over the Golan Heights. Pompeo also commented on what he sees as Hezbollah's, quote, destabilizing activities in Lebanon.
Lebanon shares a border with Israel, and the two countries have technically been at war since 2000.
And back here in the United States, President Trump is nominating former campaign advisor Stephen Moore to the Federal Reserve Board.
The president tweeted about the nomination earlier today. Moore is an economic policy analyst known for his past work on CNN and the Wall Street Journal.
There are currently 2 vacancies on the Fed board. Now, former presidential campaign candidate Herman Cain is also being considered.
And R. Kelly is back in Chicago today for a court-related hearing about the 10 counts of criminal sex abuse against him. Kelly is in court seeking permission to travel outside the U.S. to Dubai for work.
He gave up his passport last month, but his lawyers say Kelly needs to perform overseas so he can pay child support and rent.
Kelly is accused of abusing 1 adult and 3 underage girls from 1998 to 2010. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
And now the latest from across the pond, where British Prime Minister Theresa May received an extended deadline for the United Kingdom to leave the European Union. Now, Citrus TV analyst Brandon Ross joins us to talk about how this came about and what this means for the Brexit process. Brandon.
Well, Jack, it's been almost 3 years since the original Brexit referendum, but throughout the entire leave process, there's just been no ability to get any consensus.
Theresa May didn't get exactly what she wanted, but something is better than nothing. With the date for Britain to leave the EU just 8 days away, leaders reached an agreement. May wanted to push the date back to June 30th, but she only got an extension to May 22nd. Based on how other EU heads of state reacted, though, even getting that seemed like a miracle.
The British politicians are incapable of putting into place what their people have demanded. Their people voted for Brexit.
You were in and you wanted a lot of things, a lot of opt-outs, a lot of special regulations for the UK. Now you want to be out, but with a lot of advantages like you would be in. This is not possible. So it's or you are a member of the family or not.
The British Parliament has continually voted down Brexit proposals brought to a floor vote. Tensions have even boiled to the point where Prime Minister May face a no-confidence motion in January. She survived the push to remove her from her post, but since then, the ruling Conservative Party has still failed to scrape together even a bare majority of MPs to pass an agreement.
Now, even with more time on the clock to negotiate, it still seems like MPs and European leaders alike are very far away from a deal.
Now, Brandon, what's the outcome looking like? Are we heading towards a no-deal situation, or is a second referendum on the way?
Really, there's no way to tell at this point. They've gotten down to the last week before they got this extension, and if we see that happen again, it could be a no deal, and a second referendum, as unlikely as it seems, could very well be in the cards.
All right, our political analyst, Brandon Ross. Brandon, thank you. Now moving to South America, where leaders there met in Chile today as part of the first Pro-Sur summit with the intention of replacing an old bloc created by Venezuela.
Heads of state, including new Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro, and leaders from 6 other countries came together. Pro-Sur is expected to replace UNASUR.
Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro was not invited to the summit while political turmoil continues in that country.
And in a sudden move, President Trump is reversing sanctions on North Korea that his administration put in place only yesterday.
Now, Trump took to his Twitter account this afternoon to announce the withdrawal. Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said, quote, President Trump likes Chairman Kim and doesn't think these sanctions will be necessary.
This comes less than a month after a summit in Vietnam between the two leaders where they failed to reach an agreement on North Korean denuclearization.
And in other news on the Korean Peninsula now, North Korea announced today it is pulling out of a joint office close to the 38th parallel.
They shared the office with South Korea, and they're withdrawing in the wake of the U.S. sanctioning 2 Chinese companies for dealing with North Korea.
The office opened last year, and North Korea's withdrawal can be seen as a marked step back in diplomatic relations between the Koreas.
And coming up next, Citrus TV weather anchor Riley Burg joins us to break down the upcoming forecast for Syracuse, find out if the snow is here to stay or if spring is really on its way. We'll be right back.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
And welcome back to Citrus TV News. Tonight we're looking at about a low of 23, and again, like I said, experiencing lots of snow. Now the National Weather Service has issued a winter storm warning. This means that, well, we're going to be seeing snow until about 8 a.m., looking at about 6 inches of snow at the very least. Could see some more, so if you are out driving tonight for any reason, please be safe while you're on the roads. Now, while all this awful weather may be getting you down, don't be, because today is National Puppy Day, yay! So here are some puppies to make you feel a little better, even though we're seeing some gloomy temperatures and weather conditions outside. Now, moving into what it's gonna look like tomorrow, taking a look to my left here, you can see around 9 a.m., gonna be about 24 degrees, and yes, spring has come back. We're gonna see some lovely sun tomorrow. Noon gonna be 29, and then 34 degrees around 6 p.m. We are gonna be experiencing those winds, so the ones we saw tonight, about 20 miles per hour, are gonna continue into tomorrow as well. And as far as around upstate New York, you can see we're looking at about generally high 30s to low 40s around the country, or around, upstate New York. Elmira at 42, and then Rochester at 39. And moving into our 5-day forecast, you can see tomorrow again, partly sunny skies, and then moving into Sunday, more sun and a high of 49 degrees, so it's going to be warm. Snow on Monday, sad, but then sun throughout the rest of the week. Back to you guys.
And coming up in sports, one Syracuse player is leaving for the NBA draft, and one Orange team remains in the tournament. That and more, stay tuned.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
Welcome back to Citrus TV. I'm Brittany Ehrlich. The battle is over, both for Syracuse men's basketball and the Orange's star guard. A source close to Tyus Battle said the junior will leave Syracuse and enter the NBA draft. Battle tested the waters after last season and entered the draft, but eventually decided to return back to Central New York and school. Battle led the Orange in scoring this year and last. The guard averaged a little over 17 points per game this year and leaves at number 16 on the all-time Syracuse scoring list. And it's not a surprise that Battle is not returning after last night's result. And I know we don't want to talk about it, but Syracuse's season is over after losing last night to Baylor in the NCAA tournament. The Orange fell to the Bears 78-69 in a contest of 3-pointers, 28 of them in fact. SU hit 12 from downtown, but were edged out after Baylor hit 4 more. Baylor's 16 3-pointers were a Syracuse opponent record in the NCAA tournament. Elijah Hughes led the Orange with a career-high 25 points. The absence of starting point guard Frank Howard for a violation of athletic department policy was felt on the defensive end as Baylor's Makai Mason finished with 22 points. Coming into the season, Syracuse was ranked in the top 25, and after last night's game, O'Shea Brissett spoke about the team never reaching its full potential.
You know, we were able to make it. There's definitely positive things to look back on, and the way we were able to win some games and close out some games. So it's just something that we gotta right now just get over. Obviously it sucks because we had high expectations for this postseason, but just gotta get back in the gym and keep working.
Good news for Orange fans though, as they have another team to support in the tournament. 3rd seed Syracuse women's basketball hosts 14th seed Fordham tomorrow at 1 p.m. This is the highest seed Syracuse has ever earned in the tournament, and this also earned the Orange the right to host the first and second round this weekend in the Carrier Dome. The last time SU hosted the tournament in 2016, Coach Quentin Hillsman led his team to the Final Four for the first time in program history. Point guard Tiana Mungakahia looks to lead her team in the tournament after being named a Region 1 finalist for the 2019 WBCA NCAA D1 Coaches All-America Honors. Mungakahia led the team with 16.7 points per game this season and leads the nation in total assists with 268. Earlier today, Hillsman said his team needs to take just one step at a time.
For us, it's not about Monday. We got to take care of Saturday. If we don't take care of Saturday, there is no Monday. We're all going home.
We lost pretty badly in the first round last year, and we definitely don't want that to happen again.
We just have to make sure that we come into this game and
stay focused throughout the whole game, play to the very end, and not just take it, oh, you know, we're good, we're at home.
And even though Syracuse men's basketball team may be out, the first round of the tournament continues today. And who doesn't love a good upset in the tournament to bust some brackets? This morning, 10th seed Iowa took down 7th seed Cincinnati 79-72. Then we had 8th seed Mississippi fall to 9th seed Oklahoma 95-72. 13th seed UC Irvine began its Cinderella story, bringing down 4th seed Kansas State 70-64. And locally, Colgate, in their first tournament in over 20 years, kept it close but ultimately fell to Tennessee 77-70. One New York team continued its run, though, as 6th seed Buffalo currently 11th seed Arizona State by 20 points. And Iona, they look to make it 2 New York teams tonight as they face the University of North Carolina at 9:20 tonight.
All right, Brittany, my bracket already busted, but what went wrong last night for the Syracuse Orange?
Well, they couldn't guard the three-pointer, that's one thing. And second of all, I mentioned Frank Howard, him being out on the defensive end. Buddy Boeheim just wasn't his strong suit.
All right, just a rough outing altogether. Thanks so much, Brittany. Coming up, we'll have one last look at your weather.
That and more in 90 seconds.
Here we go. We're going to go out there in the rain. It's going to get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh, yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Looking for these? You drive Buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
All right, coming back here with our weather anchor, Riley Burg. Now, Riley, what can we expect for the next couple of days? What should I be wearing?
Lots of layers, let me tell you, Jack. So we are going to be seeing some sun, but it's still going to be pretty chilly out. So my advice, layer up.
And just one more question. So you talked a little bit about some of that snow coming back in. What can we expect?
Yeah, if you take a look at my 5-day forecast, you can see, so we got sun Saturday and Sunday, but then on Monday, we're going to be seeing snow showers in the morning till about 2 p.m., but don't worry, it's not going to be staying long. Coming back to Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to be seeing some sun.
I hope you're right. Riley Burg, thank you. And this weekend in Central New York, you can channel your inner Paul Bunyan as Bad Axe Throwing will hold free axe throwing this weekend in Camillus.
Now, you can RSVP on Facebook to throw those axes at targets. Now, Bad Axe Throwing is in the area from mid-March to mid-April. The program annually travels around the world holding workshops.
Now, Jack, I have a very important question to ask you. Can I axe you to come throw an axe with me?
Maybe the first axe would have sort of gotten the point back. But now, when I was a kid, I was not tall enough to play quarterback, but I like throwing things. So maybe.
So here you go. This is your chance.
Riley, what do you think? Do you want to throw this axe to our floor director over there?
Oh, absolutely. Let's go,
on
Kitty.
camera?
I don't know if I trust it. Are we ready?
Throw it.
Oh! Oh, it worked!
It's not a real axe, folks. It is completely safe.
It's plastic, but it's real in our hearts.
No floor directors were harmed in the making of this newscast. That's all the time we have for tonight. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook at CitrusTV News. I'm Jack Watson.
And I'm Elijah Shama. Have a great evening, Syracuse.